fully with one another, we look in each other's eyes and know that we see love and we feel love. So we're so happy to be here and so thankful for the people who come in early and set this space up so that we know exactly how to connect with each other. We're thankful for our greeters. We're thankful for our board of trustees. We're thankful for our musicians, fabulous musicians who bring about the grace and beauty of spirit. We're so thankful for our prayer chaplains who come in and hold the high watch for each and every one of us. And we're thankful for the congregants and the sound team and the streaming team and the PowerPoint. What an amazing cast of beauty. We're just so thankful to be here, knowing that we love Sundays. We just hold that in our hearts for a moment with great thanksgiving. And then we release it into the universal law of mind, knowing that it is creative and that it's already done. Please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. So we're going to do a little holy, 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 aren't we? All right, well, let's do that.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. Spirit divine, come to me. Healing love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love that lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole.
That was beautiful. Thank you. So we are Unity of Pasadena, but you already know that, right? You already know that. This is a wonderful place to spend a Sunday. I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and I couldn't be happier to spend my Sundays here and other days, because we actually have quite a few things going on here, and it seems to be ramping up. It seems that we're bringing forth more and more good as we open up to a wider range of activities. And that's kind of neat. We were sort of asleep for 2.5 years. It was really a wild time. Almost can't even remember it now. But I do know that I think I slept for 2.5 years, because I can't remember what I did for that period of time. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's really, kind of like the lost years, right? Yeah. So we want to welcome you if you're new. And we want to welcome you if you're new on streaming as well. We've been trying to get this live streaming right. Once in a while it's great, and once in a while it's not. And I don't know if there's anybody I need to pray to make this thing happen. But somehow, occasionally, we lose connection. And we're sorry about that. If you're on streaming, we're sorry about that. So you can go to the website and you can pick up the Sunday Truth Talk off of the website, and it's specifically that. It's specifically the Sunday Truth Talk without, all the singing and without all the praying and all that kind of stuff. And it's there because we want you to be able to have it at any time. So, if this doesn't work out, go to the website and pick that up. Or you can get CDs. We have CDs as well. Sandy does our CDs for us, and she puts together an amazing array of Sunday Truth Talks. And so that means that you can get the ones that were last month or the ones that were before that. I mean, if you really liked, say, a set, an entire month's talk around a certain thing, for instance, last month we did Myrtle Fillmore, and you might want that. Just talk to Sandy and she can make sure that you get it. So, yeah, this is a beautiful place to be. We're so happy to be here, and we are one. So I like to start off with this. There's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. It may feel like more than one thing. But it's only one thing. Expressing as you, expressing as me, and everything we see. And that's the truth. That's a statement of unity. That's just absolutely the truth. There is only one thing. And so we just love the idea that you guys are here today, and we want to tell you a little bit more about us and what we do. And are you doing... Oh, excuse me. Thank you so much. Look at this. Not only does Sandy do the PowerPoint, but she gets my attention so that I know exactly where I am and what I'm doing. Jackie used to give me a little... She used to do this little thing with her hands and get my attention. But she's in back now. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. I would love for you to join us in the unity blessing, if you will. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. And please join me in a statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence. And I am one with that presence and power. Now? Yes. Charmaine, would you come on up and tell us about our community? Thank you.
Good morning. What a wonderful day to be together. I'm going to share a word that I came across yesterday. It's called koinonia. I think that's how you say it. It's Greek, and it's exactly what we're doing now. It's the act of being present, of showing up, of being in fellowship as a community. It's used in the New Testament several times. So I came across it yesterday in one of my readings. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Koinonia. I love that word. Just kind of rolls off your tongue, and it looks nothing the way it's pronounced. Just saying. If you would please join with me, our vision statement is aligned with Unity Worldwide Ministries. Let us affirm this vision together. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Becoming that vision translates into being the channel of the divine. Please join with me in affirming our mission. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And please join with me in affirming our core values: creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. Each of these statements are located at the front of your bulletin, and they represent our intention as a ministry. And inside your bulletin is our monthly calendar, so please remember to check your bulletin and our Unity of Pasadena website calendar for all the latest happenings. Today is the fourth Sunday in September, and the team SDUVWXYZ are leading hospitality. So thank you to everyone who brought a dish to share. Thank you for setting up, for serving, and staying to help clean up. Next week is the first Sunday in October, and hospitality will be hosted by Team ABC. So thank you, each and every one of you, every single Sunday who shows up and participates. Next Sunday, October 2nd, is our special event with Phyllis Douglas, Evolutionary Grace of Vocal Alchemy. You can still register online if you would like to throughout this week with a credit or debit card. You can register in person, see me in fellowship this week and next week, cash or check, and of course we will be accepting registrations at the door too. If you haven't quite made up your mind or you're not sure what your calendar looks like, I think we have about 20 people registered now so far, so I think it'll be a unique and very enjoyable experience. Tea time with the prayer chaplains is on the calendar also for the second Sunday of the month, so mark your calendar for October 9th. It's from noon to 1 in the fellowship hall. And today, Jackie Dorst is going to be making her debut as prayer chaplain. She has many years of experience as a prayer practitioner and has also completed training in the unity methods of prayer. So she will be leading our meditation. And after service, if you would like to have one-on-one prayer, Jackie or one of our prayer chaplains can come to you, so just stay in your seats. But meanwhile, before Jackie leads us in meditation, Jacqueline Colette will share today's daily word. Thank you.
Good morning. Today's affirmation from the Daily Word. Harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is an integral part of music, adding layers of intricacy and depth. Without harmony and rhythm, a musical composition would be little more than a dissonant cacophony. With the resolution of each chord and the synchronization of every note, a symphony can touch my soul with peace. Similarly, my soul finds peace as I seek accord in my relationships and every interaction I have. From a place of love and tranquility, I bring compassion to every situation. With the give and take of compromise, I build understanding and trust. I approach every interaction with faith and the expectation of harmonious outcome. Harmonizing my mind and heart with the world around me, I welcome and do my part to create goodwill, meaning, and beauty. The scriptural reference from Romans: live in harmony with one another.
It is not I, but the Spirit within, who does these things I see before me. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory is not I, but the Spirit within who does these things I see before me. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God.
Morning, everyone. Let's get this up here a little bit. How's that? Okay, I'm loud anyway, but okay. Well, hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. You know, it is really a special thing to be up here looking out at all of you and the energy and the love that I'm feeling right now, just looking at all your beautiful faces. It's an honor to be a prayer chaplain here at Unity of Pasadena, and my name is Jackie Dorst. And let's start out with sharing the Lord's Prayer together. Ready? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we've given our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Before we go into our 2 minute of silence, I wanted to just share briefly that we were all at a very special memorial service yesterday. Several of us in here shared in that experience yesterday. And it was very powerful. And I would like to share that not only does Greg have almost 25 years of sobriety, clean and sober, but I will also have 25 years clean and sober in February. And I think it's such an important thing for us to share that. If we're in sobriety, Greg and I have never been anonymous about that. We've always worn it on our sleeve. We've always been very open with that, because if we're not, how are we going to help anyone if they don't know? And we're here to help people and be of service. And so it's an honor for me to be in a 12-step program. It's an honor for me to share that with you. And it'd be an honor for me to share with anybody that's in need or in trouble. You can always feel safe coming to me or my husband. So I just wanted to share that. That was, a lot was spoken on that yesterday at the memorial service for Helen and Victor's daughter, Victoria. And it was just very powerful. So there you go. So if you would like to join me in 2 minutes of meditation. Okay. Gently open your eyes. I'm going to leave you with this. As Charmaine mentioned, I have been also a practitioner for Centers for Spiritual Living for a number of years. And back when I was in practitioner class, we were invited to send in prayers to what they call the Creative Thought magazine that they had for several years for religious science or Centers for Spiritual Living. And I entered one in July of 2008, and I'd like to share it with you. So it was on Saturday, July 26th, and the quote at the top is by Raymond Charles Barker, and it's, "Yesterday ended last night." And then my writing was, "I live in the now. Right now, I live in a perfect world. The energy of spirit is moving in, through, and around all things. I am one with God, for God is everything. As I stay in the now, I feel the power and the presence of God within me. I express love for myself and everyone in my world. I am the best I have ever been. I am not my past, so I release what does not serve my highest good. My truth is heard as I stand tall, proud, and full of life. My intention for today allows clarity, empowerment, and freedom. I embrace each moment with love, knowing, feeling, and believing fully in its power. I open my eyes, ears, and mind to all that God is and all that I am. I listen with my heart to my inner voice. Each move I make and every word I speak is magnified with perfection, recognizing the ever-increasing good in my life. I accept this truth with a grateful heart full of love. I give thanks for all in my world. I release my word into the law of mind, and it is so." Thank you.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark, 'cause at the end of the road is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dream
superb. You know, I need some time to recover after that. Yeah, you know, we got to spend the day together yesterday, and many of you were there too. It was a beautiful time. Thank you for mentioning it, Jackie. We were in this magnificent church. It's a Presbyterian church with an old one, a century old at least, with amazing stained glass windows on each of the walls, and the lighting was just so reminiscent of the beauty of that age. You know, I mean, it was just an experience. And what I really loved about it was we got to bring unity to that, you know? I mean, there's tradition in all of that, and it's somewhat of a different tradition than we're used to, but we embrace and understand and celebrate all methods of reaching spirit. And so we were able to do so in a really interesting way yesterday in that space, and I loved it. You know, our songs were New Thought oriented. Our feelings of reverence were deep and in tradition. It was a neat experience. We just loved it. So you guys were fantastic then too. But I looked at what you were going to do today, and I thought, this is so exciting. Man, this is so exciting what you guys are up to. And that one that you just did, oh, that just crushed me. That was really terrific. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. So we've been doing something that's really interesting, I think, over this past month. My intent behind this idea that there are times in our lives when things don't unfold absolutely perfectly for us. There are times in our lives when we suffer, when we're feeling pain, when we think sometimes that, you know, this life is too hard to live, and too many barriers have been thrown up in front of us for us to move forward, that the joy in life has been sucked out of it because there's just too much going on, or too many really tough things happening in life. I mean, I don't like to dwell in that space, but you know it happens, and we've had it happen in our lives many, many times, so much so that we can kind of expect it. You know, I mean, it's going to happen. You know, we were in that beautiful space yesterday, and we know that memorial service was around an event that happened back in May of this year that created such a situation for both Helen and Victor, that created a change of life experience. I mean, when you lose a 27-year-old daughter, I don't even know how to talk about that. I certainly don't know how to move through it. But when you do, you certainly are going to find yourself in that space where you're low, where it looks like the sun will never come out again. And it's in those times that you catch a glimpse of spirit, that you catch a glimpse of God, and you recognize that there's a new path that you might find yourself on that could create not only healing for you, but for those around you. That there are some things that you can engage in, things that you can do to stay on that path that bring about a new way of thinking for you, because don't you know you need a new way? In order to live that new life, you need a new way. And you have to find it. I mean, if you don't find it, you'll end up, you know, essentially tearing yourself apart. You'll end up living in a place where darkness is your day. We can't do that. We won't do that. So when you glimpse that spirit, you move toward it. When you glimpse spirit, you move toward it to find a new path. You stay on that path as you heal. You move forward on that path, and eventually you become it. I mean, that's an interesting way to see this path unfolding, but it is true. Eventually you become it. And that old self has died. That old self that used to embrace those new ideas and feelings and emotions, it's gone. It is gone. There's a new one here. And that new one here is able to live comfortably and beautifully in this new world that was brought to us through sometimes severe tragedy. You know, and so as I watch the healing through Victor and Helen and through the people that were so close to Tori, their daughter, I see these sort of levels starting to unfold. I see a new path being trod. I see some new ideas being brought forth, and I see some new energy being placed on things that weren't as important as they were before. And I'm only going to touch on this for a moment before I move on. But most parents would not have wanted me to talk about the things I talked about yesterday. Most parents would have wanted to hide some of these things because it doesn't reflect well on them, right? That's what you might think. But it does reflect well on them as magnificent and wonderful parents. And they knew if they told this story and told it well, it could save others' lives. They knew that if the story was told rather than buried, it could be something that could bring about change for others. That's the hope. That's the goal. That's the moving forward. The glimpse of spirit created a path. They stepped on the path. They moved forward with it. They asked for help in that process. And don't you know, we all gave it to them. We always will. No judgment. No judgment. So that's the unfolding of what I'm trying to talk about this month. So where we are right now is becoming the path. I mean, how do you become the path? How do you move from just glimpsing spirit to choosing the path and staying on the path and become the path eventually? How do you do that? Well, there are no magic steps to take, but there are some stories that might help you to feel or know or understand how this happens. So let me tell one. All right, this is a story from India. And if you want to do a little bit of research on this, the way that you'll get to it is the Forest Man. You will put in your search bar, the Forest Man. And you'll get a lot of videos that are in languages that you can't understand. You might get one that has some subtitles, though, which is wonderful. And you'll get a couple of hits with a couple of articles, too, because the Forest Man is a big deal in India, but not so much here. He's a big deal in India because his intent in becoming this path, in becoming this person that he became, was to save the planet in the area in which he lived. All he could do, and he knew, was affect the area in which he lived. And so here's the area he lives in. He lives in this place. It is on a river, and the river is, I knew I'd need my glasses at some point in time here. That's why I brought them up. And the river is the Brahmaputra River. It's in northeastern India. And there's an island in this river. It's the Majuli Island. He lives on that Majuli Island. It's the largest island in a river in the world. I mean, the Brahmaputra River is a huge river. And if you see it on the map, you'll see it's near a town called Jorat, Jorhat. And this man's name is Jadav Payeng. Jadav Payeng lives on Majuli Island, which is in the middle of the Brahmaputra River in northeastern India. This island is huge. It's the size of, let's say Arizona almost. It's huge. The river splits and leaves this island. It's huge. It's huge. I was going to add a couple of states together, like Rhode Island and Vermont and Delaware and Massachusetts, and I mean that whole eastern seaboard idea. It's big. This is big. We're talking about a big space. And that island was a haven for animals, in jungle-type animals, tigers and rhinos and elephants and beautiful, huge trees with, with canopies over the top where you have birds and beautiful wildlife everywhere. And as often happens in places that are somewhat poor, people come in and they start deforesting. They started to deforest this Majuli Island and started to poach the animals and take the trees out and the plants and the fauna and the flora. And what that created was a situation where the monsoonal rains that come every single year bring huge amounts of water down the river, started to erode Majuli Island because there was nothing to hold any longer the dirt, the sand, and the rocks and everything that created this Majuli Island. And so what began happening was everything was being swept away, including all of the things that made Majuli Island an island. And what a horrific thing to happen. I mean, this is a huge space where life would abound, and now it was turning into this wasteland. And when the monsoons weren't running, it almost looked like sand dunes, because when the monsoons don't have the river up at a very, very high level, it leaves these sandy, barren dunes for people to see. And so you'd look out at Majuli Island and see almost nothing. It was denuded, as we say. It was gone. All the stuff was gone. No more animals there. Everything gone. And so Jadav Payeng looked out at his beautiful island and he said, I've got to do something about this. And he decided that he would just do the first thing he could think of to do, which is to plant a tree. He just planted a tree. And then he planted one the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And these trees began to grow. And then he'd plant 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 or 8, and they would grow into a space where they started to produce a cooler environment, where they started to nurture other life. He's been doing this for 40 years. He's been doing it for 40 years, and he still does it. And in order for him to do that, he's got to leave his home, and he's got to get in a little boat, and it puts across the river, and then he's got to walk 5, 6, 10, 12 miles, depending upon where he wants to plant the trees. Well, 40 years of walking this path, of doing this next indicated thing, has produced something that has garnered national attention for him, because there is now a forest that's named after him. Because of what he was doing for these 40 some odd years, and it's been more now, he's created a situation where there are literally tens of miles of forest that have sprung up. 12 square miles of forests that have sprung up there and begun to nurture each and every plant within that ecosystem, meaning now the trees drop their own seeds. Now the flowers produce their own ability to reproduce. Now the environment and climate has changed. It's cooler there. It's cooler. And it has attracted animals back to the environment, where there are 115 elephants in India that now live in that space. He describes how during the early phases of this forest, chasing away poachers to try and keep them from killing the first elephant that found its way back to Majuli Island. Chasing away poachers who would attack and kill the rhinos who are now showing up. There are tigers and rhinos and deer and every form of bird in this forest. And this forest has been named after him. And when he speaks, he talks about how this became his life as he watched it open up in front of him and become something that he believes can change the world. He talks so gently about how he would love to be able to gather friends who would do this with him in different areas and have thousands of people doing what he was doing. And he's very optimistic. He thinks he can change the world. He believes he can change the world through changing the conduct of one person at a time. He thinks he can change the world by opening up a path for other people to walk. And I'm right with him. I believe he can too. He has become this path that is incredibly vibrant in an area where people are now recognizing that we have to be stewards rather than destroyers. People that would have poached are now stopping others from poaching. People who would have destroyed the forest are now stopping others from destroying the forest. I mean, this is catchy. I say it all the time, consciousness is catchy. This is the kind of consciousness that I would love to see the world catch on to. You know, Jackie talked a little bit about religious science today, being a practitioner. I'm also a religious science minister. I'm an ordained religious science minister. And I have always loved the beauty of Ernest Holmes. I mean, I love the beauty of Myrtle Fillmore and Charles Fillmore and everybody in unity, but that doesn't mean that I'm relegated to just unity thinkers. I love my Catholic thinkers. I love my Buddhist thinkers. I love my Hindu thinkers. I love my religious science thinkers. You know, I'm a Jesus-loving Buddhist. You ask me what's going on in my life, I'm a Jesus-loving Hindu. I'm a Jesus-loving Buddhist. I'm a Jesus-loving Jew. I'm a unity minister. I'm also an ordained religious science minister. And by the way, there's really no difference. There isn't. I mean, and the reason why is because we are at this level where we recognize that all is God. Everything is spirit. Everything that we see, feel, know, and hear is God. And it doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it anything you want. For Jadab, it's a forest. And the animals that live there. And the beauty of that greenery. And maybe, just maybe, a country that starts to up-level in consciousness, starts to become a little bit more able, personally able to walk the same path that he walks. I love this story. I love it. It is a model. Now I'm going to get personal here. It's a model for a person who may want to get into ministry with, let's say, unity. You find that path, you choose that path, you stay on that path, and you become the path. That's the path I'm on with unity, by the way, just so that you know. You'd think that maybe because I'm a religious science ordained minister that they would just hand me a little sheet of paper in unity and say, here you go, now you're a unity minister and you are ordained as a unity minister. Nope. Nope. They lay a path out for me and they say, we're going to see if you stay on it. And then we're going to take a really good look at you to see whether or not you have become the path. You know, and they recognize that it's not going to change me from being anything that I truly am today. It's just an and thing, you see. I mean, I am this and I am that. I am a father, I am a son. I am and. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking classes. Just so you guys know, I'm taking classes, and pretty soon I'm going to be a licensed ordained unity minister, and they're going to bestow some sort of item of clothing on me or something back in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know. Not sure exactly what they're going to do. I don't know whether there's a sword involved. I don't know yet. But I'm really interested to find out. But you need to know that's my path, because what this board of trustees has done has agreed to support me on that path. And so I've signed a second 6-month contract that will take me through the first year of ministerial studies. I have 5 classes. I'll be through with 3 of them in the next 2 months. And there will be 2 more coming next year. So I want you guys to know where I am on that. Okay, and all of you on live stream as well, yes, thank you very much for clapping. So all of us have paths that unfold in front of us. All of us have a way for us to move through this life, move through it comfortably at a high level of consciousness. Our choice is to whether or not we stay on that path. But if we do, we'll eventually become it, like Jadiv Payeng, like the forest man, the man who at this point in time doesn't even know that he's my mentor. I love that story. I hope you'll look it up. I hope you'll get a little deeper into it as well. This is one of the harder ones to find because he's not been as popular here as he is amongst many of his own people, which is terrific for his people, but something that we probably need to model as well in these spaces. So, yeah. You know, as I walk this path, and I don't expect that I do it alone. I mean, I'm being buoyed by each of you. You know, your boats raise me up in this journey on this river of life. And the hope is, no. The knowing is that when you're on a journey, whatever it is, we support yours too, see? So we all get to live this life together. What an amazing thing. I guess that's why we're called unity. So know this, the God in me recognizes the God in you. Namaste. Thank you. So let's see now. I have something in my pocket. Do you know which pocket I put that in, Jackie? I know which pocket it is. Millie, come forward. You got a basket, don't you? Oh, look at this. There were only 4 pockets in my pants, so imagine I can find it sometime. So this is, for me, this is representative of the circulation of life. You see, this is all about the great game of giving and receiving that we step into. You know, we step in early. We don't know it's the great game of giving and receiving until we get a little bit older and we recognize that there's something at work here. You know, there's something at work. It's called the law of circulation. And as we give, so shall we receive. We open up lines of spiritual communication when we give love to others. We open up lines of spiritual communication when we practice spiritual principles that involve other people, like we're doing now. We're open to more good. And so we know that happens here too, with our treasures. And so I'd like you to join me in our community giving statement. God is the source of the supply, my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. It's amazing how one person can screw it all up, isn't it? And so it is. Are we going to try something new today?
Yeah, we're going to try something new, Greg. How would you like to join us and play drums today with us on the offertory side?
No laughing, you guys. No laughing. This is serious business. Yeah. Oh, the heart of rock and roll. Oh. Gotcha. The heart of rock and roll. You were so smart.
This is Rise by Faith Rivera. I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat, it's calling, calling us to rise. Oh, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. I lift my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one, Spirit, rise. Oh, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, oh, rise. Come on, rise up, rise in me. I sing to you, you sing to me. Change up this noise and make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh rise, oh rise, come on and rise, rise up in me. Oh, heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark? Oh, we rise as one. Come on and rise. Oh, rise, Spirit, rise, rise in me. Come on and rise. Oh, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh, yeah.
Well, that wasn't at all the way we practiced it, but I hope that vision that snuck into me wasn't too difficult. Ta-da! I at least got your arm. I saw your arm go up in the air. You guys are good. Isn't it fun to be a part of the band? It's fun to be a part of something. So this is great, really great. Thank you. Thank you for ushering, Millie. You are an outstanding usher. And so we just know that these tithes and treasures are used with integrity. We here at Unity of Pasadena recognize and know that your giving is important to us and important to you. And we use these tithes to help this community to grow, to help the outside community, the surrounding community, become more conscious. We give to others in this community, not just this here, but this community around us, to create a better world. And so we're so thankful for all of this. We just do what we do with integrity and love. I release it, I let it go, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Millie. All right, so let's see, you feel like standing up again? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do the silent unity prayer for protection. And I'd like you to join me, please, in this. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well. What song are we going to sing today?
Let there be peace on earth.
Oh, let's do that one. If you want to hook up, you can. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right. Hey, if you would like prayer, just stay